Hey, 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 happy Tuesday, everybody. This is Bunmi Moore here with Women of Wealth, the Wow Show, Women of Wealth, coming to you from the Boom Boom Room today, where we are always building, banking, and doing big business, giving value and inspiring the world. So glad to have you here with us. Normally, if this whole coronavirus thing wasn't going on, we'd be coming from the studio in Capitol Heights, Maryland, but we got to shift and change things. We're flexible. It's okay. So we're coming from the Boom Boom Room. And I have a guest with us this morning who I have the privilege of calling Daddy. Yes, indeed, guys. I am excited to have my father, Mr. Zeke Stewart, on with us today. Hey, what's up, Jay? And so today we are going to be talking about health. And why? Well, we're going to be talking about health because our health is our greatest wealth. You got to understand that. Your health is your very first wealth. And I can't think of a better person to have that conversation with than my dad. Well, why? Because he, over the years, ladies and gentlemen, has been so intentional about not just talking about health to our family, but if there's one person who has lived it out, who has modeled this for us for 30 years, it is Mr. Zeke Stewart. So, Daddy, you can unmute. Everybody saying, yay. Welcome, Bunmi's dad. So we're going to have this awesome health conversation. So thank you so much for being here with us today. Can you hear me okay?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, wonderful. I said thank you so much for being here with us today.
Okay, Bunmi, thanks for having me here. I am excited about wow, but I'm also, and I stay excited about health, about staying healthy. It has been my passion for probably 40 years, but I try to get people to see and understand why it's important to have health, because if you don't have health, what else do you have? I mean, if you don't have health, if you don't have health, you're not healthy. It's very difficult to get wealth. You just have to have it. So, and the other thing about being healthy, you avoid getting sick, and getting sick is a pain. Not a play on words, but it is a pain. So I don't like pain. So I make it a practice, guys, of staying healthy. And like Bunmi said, it's a way of life. It's not something that you do once a year or, once a month. It's something that you do every day. Every day, because you're living every day. Your body requires certain things every day if you're going to stay healthy. You can neglect, but if you neglect, your body will let you know that, hey, you neglected me, so I got to give you a little pain to let you come around and do the proper thing to stay healthy.
Oh, absolutely. So I go ahead and put it back. Guys, we're having a little echo. There are some technology issues we're trying to deal with. So, guys, let me tell you, my father, as I said, just modeled health for us. I remember when I was a teenager and he'd be in the kitchen juicing. And yes, I had to drink beet, garlic, and celery and broccoli juice, right? Sometimes without the apple to sweeten it up. Anybody been there? So that was that legacy. People are talking about celery juice now like it's something new. I'm like, I'm drinking celery juice in 1985, right? So I remember that big white champion juicer my father had that lasted for years. And so from the raw food juicing and the fasting he would go on, I think he became a vegetarian in around 1991 or something like that. I still eat meat. I never became a vegetarian, but he did instill this whole legacy of health and how food should be our medicine and how we should be putting an importance on health. And so even though on this show every Tuesday, we're going to be talking about things of finance and things of money. And yes, is wild women of wealth. But yesterday, I mean, the other day, we were sitting around as a family and we were talking about some things we wanted to do financially to live a legacy. My father kind of stopped and said, listen, guys, all these things we want to do, we're going to do financially are important, but we've got to address this health issue with the family. We've got to make sure that we leave a legacy, Bunmi, with you, with your children, with your children's children. I have 4 grandchildren now. We've got to institute those foundational principles because our health is our greatest wealth. So, Daddy, I want you to tell the story about how you got into juicing and your testimony about what happened with your arm and that.
Okay, Boomy. Yeah, well, that story goes back when you were in college at the Hampton University in Hampton.
Oh, was that Hampton?
Yeah, and I remember you were working at McDonald's. I would have to get up for like 5 o'clock in the morning to take you to work, and for some time back then, I was getting this pain in the joint of my right shoulder, and it wouldn't go away. I mean, even in church, I couldn't even raise my hand to praise the Lord. And I'm really not one to run to the doctors, every 5 minutes. But after about a month or two, it wouldn't go away. So I said to my wife, said to Jerry, look, I probably need to go to the doctor because if I don't go, I'll probably die. If I do go, they probably kill me. So 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. So we went to the doctor. He examined me. He couldn't find anything wrong. He told me to come back in 3 weeks. But before I could come back in 3 weeks, I don't know where, but I picked up this book, and the book said, food should be your medicine. And I literally started to flip through the book to find out my particular ailment, what medicine should I take? And the medicine was food. And for this joint pain, it said to juice a pineapple and a grapefruit for 40 days. And at that point, I didn't know what to do, so I had no problem. I already had a juicer, a champion juicer, and I started to juice a pineapple and a grapefruit every day. And by the 38th day, I could do this. I could raise my arm. Before I couldn't do that. So I said to myself, okay, the doctors couldn't figure this out. Now food, I'm just drinking and juicing grapefruit and pineapple, and it's healed me. So I went on an all-out mission, literally for 2 years, reading everything I could, every newsletter from Johns Hopkins, Harvard, everything to find out about food and how it can heal you. And to make a long story short, I became a health enthusiast. I literally juice every day. I mean, if it's 7 days in a week, I would juice all of those days. If it's 31 days in a month, I would juice all of those days every day. And I actually, sometimes it was multiple times a day. And my health improved tremendously. I mean, my weight became what it's supposed to be, and I had endless energy. I'm a big time gardener, and I had a big garden. And in July and August, I would be out in the garden 8 hours a day, feeling good, endless energy, and it just went on and on. So I just wanted to know that food should be your medicine, and you got to take that seriously because the nutrients that's in food is what we need to keep our body healthy and to heal our body and actually even reverse some of the problems that we have. So I just wanted to emphasize that, guys. Make it your mission to stay healthy. Make it your mission to eat right. Make it your mission to do the research, for you to do the research, because oftentimes we get sick and I'll say we like ship ourselves to the doctor. We say, doctor, I'm sick, fix me, make me well. And my theory is that you at the doctor's 30 minutes, but you at you 24 hours a day. And you might know a little bit more than the doctor knows about you if you pay attention to you. and pay attention to what your body is telling you, because your body will give you signals and give you a warning. So guys, be on the lookout for the warning, because your body's going to tell you what you need to do to stay well.
I love that. And George Braxton is saying, amen. We need to go to the pharmacy. Yep, he was gardening, going to the pharmacy, getting back to nature. So growing up, you had us drinking the juice and beet juice and with the carrots and the broccoli and the garlic and just all kinds of things. Not just, people like to make fruit smoothies now. No, it wasn't about fruit most times, y'all, at all. It was about hardcore vegetables. And so sometimes I would frown up, and you will always say, it's not about the taste. Talk a little bit about the taste of things. And then you always said how that gets our taste buds get us into trouble.
Yes, Boomer. Yeah, I like to tease people, say, look, we need to grow up. As kids, it was all about the taste, and then at some point, you need to get past that point of being about the taste. Guys, it's about the health. It's about the nutrients that's in the food. It's about the nutrients that's in the vegetables. See, vegetables are number one, fruits are number two. You've got to have fruits and vegetables. By far, fruits are very good. You need them. But if I had a choice, it always would be vegetables. I mean, my recipe for juicing was, number one was carrots. Then I would juice cabbage. Cabbage is really good for your stomach. I mean, kale, broccoli, cauliflower. I mean, you name it, and I would juice it. Because back then, when I went to the supermarket, I just went to the perimeter of the supermarket, because that's where the real food is. In the aisles, that's where the dead food is, because you have to kill it to give it shelf life. So, and my food bill was very modest, because I would buy, broccoli, kale, carrots, and real food is really less expensive. So that's what we would do, and that went on for years and years and years. So it's important, guys, for you to take responsibility and eat the food that has the nutrients. See, there's really no free lunch. You got to do your study. You got to do your research. You got to find out what's in the food that you need. I mean, all the minerals are in the food that you need, from magnesium, selenium, calcium, all that is in the food. We go and buy, supplements. Now, supplements, is a second choice. It's not a really good second choice. I mean, so what you want to do is, by all means, take responsibility. Now, let me tell you this. I used to get sick frequently, like I like to say everybody else, because I ate the standard American diet, SAD, the standard American diet. But when I took responsibility for my health and didn't give the responsibility to the doctor, I started getting sick. I started getting headaches. I started getting aches and pains. I had energy all the time, because I took responsibility. When something wasn't right, I didn't ignore it. I went to work on it to find out what's wrong, fix it, and guys, then I wouldn't have to go to the hospital. I wouldn't have to go to the doctor, frequently. Now, I do go to the doctor. I get blood tests. I believe in that. Doctors absolutely have a part, but they shouldn't take your part, because they don't feel your pain. You don't want to feel your pain. And guys, pain is not good. So I'm encouraging you to take responsibility. That's a key phrase with me. Take responsibility for your health, and your health will improve.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. We have Rich from Canada watching. He says, what type of juicer do you recommend? Do you still recommend a champion juicer? I'm sure there's other types on the market, but what do you recommend?
I do recommend the champion juicer. Is economical. There's other juicers that's more expensive, but I use the champion juicer for over 20 years. I literally wore it out. But so that would be my favorite. People ask me what kind of juicer. I would say go get a champion juicer.
Champion. Okay. And we have, who else? We have Danita, who's saying, Coach Danita saying, our health is our greatest wealth. I'm sure everyone would agree with that. as well as Joyce Braxton saying, "Oh, Boomy, you're blessed for having your parents to teach you so much about health and wealth." So, yes, I am blessed. And thank you for recognizing that, Joyce. And thank you, Daddy, for leaving a legacy of health to our family, not just to me, but when my kids were young and we all lived with you, they got to see that model. So, my kids know about health and making great food choices. I want to play devil's advocate for a little bit, because you just said, and I don't know if you meant to say this, supplements are not too good of a second choice. Now, I'm really big on supplements because the food in this country, first of all, the soil is depleted of minerals. There's not enough nutrition in the soil for us to get the minerals that we need for optimal health. And then let's say comparing the food here to the food in Panama where you lived. I mean, a mango here in the store, and then we got those mangoes that were growing on the tree there in Panama. There's no comparison. So it's like, in my opinion, you've got to supplement if you are here in the States, because we can't eat enough healthy food in order to get the nutrition that we need. That's my belief. What's your take on that? I think you may be muted out. Are you muted out?
I basically agree with that. All things being equal, we want the natural food that comes out of the ground. But like you said, Boomy, it's kind of difficult to get really good, totally wholesome food that's free from pesticide, herbicide, and all these things. So yes, I mean, I do agree that we do have to supplement. But if you can't get the good, healthy food and organic food, yeah, you're gonna have to supplement, because the bottom line that you need to get the essential nutrients, the essential minerals and vitamins to keep your body functioning. See, the body is a living being. It's living to the extent of 100,000 living cells,
No,
and we need. I'm
trillions of
sorry,
cells.
100. It's 100,000 a trillion cells. It's a trillion cells, 100,000 of them. I mean, all of them, the tiny, the microscopic, but you need to feed them, and you need to feed them some living food, because in order to stay healthy, you got to keep your cells healthy. You got to do that on a cellular level. So I just wanted to emphasize that. Yes, ideally, I mean, if you could get the proper food, the natural food, yeah. But if you can't get that, you have to supplement to get the proper doses that you need on a daily basis to feed all of those cells.
Absolutely. It's so important now. In this day and time with what's going on now, we've got to address immune system issues, because with this coronavirus, that's on people's minds now. What can you tell us about the immune system?
Um, yeah, since we're talking about the coronavirus, I mean, the immune system is on the minds of everybody's. It's highly recommended that build up your immune system so you can fight the virus if it comes your way. But Boomy, as you know, the immune system has been my favorite subject for years. See, you don't kind of wait until the horse get out of the barn and close the door. You want to do that beforehand. But having said that, you know, right now you really want to work on building your immune system, and if it's not up to par, you're really at risk if the virus come your way. And I've been doing some reading, and some of my sources saying vitamin C is the number one thing that you want to do to build your immune system up. And oftentimes we take minerals, we take vitamins, we take supplements, but you kind of got to get the doses right. And when we take, like 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, we kind of think, well, that's enough. In this day and age, uh, you can take 10,000 a day, and that won't be too much. See, vitamin C, you can't overdose on those, because literally, if you take too much, you just pee it out. But what you need to do is actually double up on that, triple up on the vitamin C, because we need that. See, vitamin C doesn't stay in your body like maybe vitamin A. It just goes out. So you got to take that every day. You can't say, well, I'll take X amount today and then I'll skip some days. No, you need to do it on a daily basis, especially with this virus, as bad as it is, because all the experts are saying, the worst is yet to come. So if it comes your way, number one, if you're taking if you're building your immune system up, number one, uh, it could contact you, but it may not affect you because your immune system is so powerful. Your immune system will kill the virus if it's strong enough. The other thing, if it's strong, then maybe if you do contact it, uh, it won't be as severe. So you, by all means, start working on that because this virus is said to be going to be here for a while. I mean, going to be here for a while. Some of the experts are saying that it may become a cyclical thing, a seasonal thing. So, bottom line, whether the virus here or not, there's going to be something else that your immune system going to need to protect you against. So, by all means, you do some research and find out the things that you need to do, the foods that you need to eat, the supplements that you need to take to build your immune system. Because without your immune system, you're dead.
Absolutely. And so we have Coach Danita making a recommendation. She says, be careful with store-bought vitamin C. You do want to have, when you purchase supplements, them to be high quality. And start learning and doing your research, because especially when it comes to minerals and even vitamins, they work synergistically together, and it's best to have some of the cofactors when you're taking one mineral to make sure that it helps to be absorbed. So there's a lot to learn, but don't not take them because you don't have all of the ins and outs. Start getting yourself educated. And Dr. Darrell says this message is approved by Dr. Darrell. Well, thank you. Thank you. George Braxton says, nourish and hydrate your cells, empower your immune system naturally. And so one of the good things about this coronavirus is more people are waking up to natural health and how to boost their immune system. People weren't really talking about the immune system. As my father said, it runs your body. It fights off the bad guys. You got to keep that immune system strong. And so many people now are making sure that they're in tune now to that immune system. You know what I wanted to say, and I know all of you all can relate to this. We were talking about food. And Karen Wright was saying most of the produce in the regular grocery store now is GMO. But think about what a tomato tasted like when your grandparents or your parents or when you, Daddy, we would grow the tomato in the garden. And I'll think of tomatoes now. I'm like, my kids don't even know the taste of a sun-ripened vine tomato. We get that tomato, sprinkle a little salt on there, and just eat it like a fruit. I mean, fruit now doesn't even taste like the fruit that we were growing up on, does it? You're muted out. Don't forget you're muted.
You said your kids don't know what really fruit tastes like, but I want to make one exception. Today is your oldest son's birthday. He's like 29. He knows what okay, he knows what a tomato tastes like because he used to garden with me every day, and he would eat vine ripe tomatoes. I mean, we just have fun. We leave the tomato on the vine. We just take a bite out of it. I mean, you can't get any closer to the food chain than that, But Kev doesn't know what a vine ripe tomato tastes like.
Oh, hey, we have Felicia joining, saying, hey, that's exactly how my dad and I used to eat tomatoes. So we can all think back to those fun times. I remember we used to have peach trees in the backyard and the apple tree. The apples were naturally so huge, and the tree would be bent over from the apples. We had plum trees and pear trees, and most kids don't get to experience that. As Joyce Braxton said, we're being sold fake food, and it's really, really sad. So if you can grow a garden, it'd be great to grow a garden. So, okay, now let's talk about fasting and detoxing, because that's something I saw you doing too when I was growing up. It seemed like you were always doing a fast. I remember you used to do a fast every season, right? Or a detox or a cleanse. Tell us about that.
I mean, for years and years, Jerry and I, we fast every quarter, every 3 months, every 90 days. I mean, we did a fast because, God, it is so important to get the bad stuff out. We constantly put the bad stuff in, but we have to get it out. And we would fast. I mean, we've done a number of fasts over the years. We would fast at least every quarter for 3 days. I mean, we would do a real fast, no food, basically just water, and then for the first 2 days, and then the third day we may do some juicing. But the idea is that, think about it. We eat 3 times a day and 21 times a week, and how how often do we go to the bathroom? But we have to get this stuff out of us because it's really it turns to stuff that really gets into our bloodstream and causes all kinds of disease. So fasting is a good thing. Um, for the most part, I literally fast every day because I go at least 12 to 16 hours between the first meal and the last meal. Uh, Oftentimes, when I was in Colombia, I just came back last week, I would eat breakfast at 8 o'clock. And the family I was staying with, we would eat dinner around 4 o'clock. So from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m., that's 12 hours, and another 4 hours to 8. So that's like 16 hours, and it wasn't a problem at all. It gives your body a chance to heal itself. I mean, fasting is important because we put in stuff in our body, junk in our body. It was almost like 24 hours a day, and then so the body's constantly working to digest that, and it doesn't give your body a chance to rest. So when you fast, it gives your body to fix stuff that's wrong, so it doesn't have to be uh, using this energy to digest the food, because just digesting food alone takes like 23% of your energy just to digest the food. And another thing, a lot of times, when I used to do seminars and health seminars, people tell me that, they wake up in the morning and they're tired. And I was, half jokingly say, well, I can understand why you're tired, because your body's been working all night long to digest the food and the junk that you put in your body. You didn't give your body a chance to rest. You may have gone to sleep, but your body was working, around the clock to work on digesting and keeping you healthy. So you want to have a time span. See, you got to work with your body. You got to have a time span to let your body heal itself. So that time between your last meal, like 4 hours after your last meal, after it's digested, then your body get a chance to go to work for you, to go to start to clean out the gunk and all of that. So think about that. You may not be able to fast 3 days, but I mean, you can go 12 hours without eating, can't you?
Absolutely can. And Coach Danita says she does. She says she fasts every day because of all the toxins in the air that we breathe. It helps her to stay focused. So I guess she has that 12-hour period too. She's not eating. She also says our body needs to be on a fast to rejuvenate our cells. And Joyce Braxton says it's great for type 2 diabetics. So yes, all of those things are true. Diane Robinson said they had a huge grapevine in their backyard. Remember, we had the grape harbor. Ooh,
Yes.
good. Yes. Those organic grapes my father would grow. And so we got about 5 more minutes left, guys. Let's talk about can our bodies really reverse disease? Can diseases really be reversed?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me tell you a little story. Prior to 2006, from my research, I never had a doctor to say that diabetes could be reversed. We were always told that once you became a diabetic, you would be a diabetic for life. God, that is absolutely, positively not true, because when I was with a company, part of a company, and we market minerals, and I saw a lot of people reverse being a diabetic and became insulin, didn't have to take insulin anymore. So yes, we can reverse disease. Now, having said that, I mean, it doesn't happen overnight because it didn't come to you overnight. But over time, you absolutely can reverse many of the common diseases of today.
And I agree with that. Of course, our cells renew. Our old cells die off, new ones are birthed. And when with this renewal process, if we give our body what it needs in a form that we can use it in, our body will do amazing things. And that is to heal itself. We know the Bible says our bodies were fearfully and wonderfully made. And so if you're sick, you can become disease free. Your body can become at ease if it is diseased. So, and Judy Baxter says, whatever we choose to put in our body is either for our health or against it. She's so right. And that thought helps me because I definitely don't eat healthy all the time. I try to do like 70-30 or 80-20. But if I'm going to eat something bad, I know it. And I may minimize what I eat. And then I know what I'm going to eat. Limit myself the next time, or making sure I'm doing a cleanse or drinking my detox tea, or the next day making sure I just have a meatless day or something like that, so we can pace ourselves. Karen Jarvis Rice says, I'm a witness to this. I was able to reverse my diabetes. Yes, she was. Awesome Karen. All right, we can't get out of here without talking about this doggone big pharma. So Big Pharma, the pharmaceutical companies, profit massively, guys, from low immune systems. If the world has strong immune systems, they would not be making as much money as they make. So they are in the market. They're not in the market of telling you the natural things to help your body to start healing itself, and that will raise your immune system. And they're going to be working on a coronavirus, what's it called, vaccine. Will you be one who takes it when it comes? But let's talk about Big Pharma. What's the problem with all of pharmaceuticals?
Well, yeah, Big Pharma is big. Big Pharma is powerful. Big Pharma has the Congress in his pocket. But I also want to add, it's almost like they work together, Big Pharma and the big food industry. Mm-hmm. It's like the food industry make you sick, and Big Pharma is supposed to make you well. I mean, they got this thing going on and on. But God, I'm gonna talk about Big Pharma, but we got to talk about big food also. Okay. And they spend lots of money, and they do studies about our behavior, what we do, what we like, what we don't like, and some things they know we like, and it tastes real good, guys, and that's sugar. Now, don't tell me sugar don't taste good. I don't do sugar, because the average American, they eat 180 pounds of sugar a day. Now, somebody's eating twice that because they're getting my 180 pounds. I mean, a year. 180 pounds a year they eat. And if you look at all the Americans, that's how much sugar that we eat. God, that's an awful lot of sugar. That's, we're talking about the immune system. I mean, you drink one cola, that will depress your immune system for like 12 hours. Wow. So you want to get sick, you do a lot of sugar, and you let a disease, something come along, and you have no protection because it basically shuts down your immune system. But I just have to throw that out because our people need to be very cognizant about the food that you eat, because they know we like sugar, they know we like salt, they know we like fat, they know the stuff that tastes good. And this is why I've told my kids and grandkids, this tastes good, and we struggle with this. It's not about the taste, because if we go strictly on the taste, we're going to get sick, because sugar tastes good, and if we do a lot of it, we're going to get sick. Too much salt, salt gives it flavor. Guys, you can use spices and herbs to give it flavor. So I haven't done salt and sugar for decades, and forget it. Let's go to Big Pharma. I mean, Big Pharma is, I mean, they got it going on because they got the power. They spend billions, guys, billions of dollars to get people in Washington, in the Congress, to approve what they want them to approve. And guys, I think it's just so horrible because I lost a sister to cancer, and she had, and this is like 16, 18 years ago, and she had to buy one pill. It cost $900.
Yeah.
One pill. And I mean, that's criminal, criminal. It doesn't have to be there. Let me give you an example. I just come back from South America, and you can go to the pharmacy and get stuff for, I mean, half the price, 20% of it. Uh, for example, if you got high blood pressure, you could go to the pharmacy and say, well, I want a 30-day supply of amlodipine. You don't have to go to a doctor to do that. You just go to the pharmacy and get a lot of the necessary drugs that you need. So you don't always have to go to a doctor. I mean, they got this thing going on. Uh, I wanted to go to a dermatologist um, because I have a prescription, not a prescription. I have two um, medicine from Panama, and when I came back last week, I went to the pharmacy and I asked about, can I get this? They said, well, we don't have it. But I said, well, when will you get it in? He said, well, we can order it, but you need a doctor prescription. Now, a doctor recommended it in Panama, but she didn't write me a prescription. I mean, you can get that. But see, they're making a major wealth shift because they're taking money from the middle and the lower class and they're shifting that money to this elite class, this class of the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry. I mean, it's a shift of resources. So we have to pay $900 for a pill that literally costs them maybe 50 cents to manufacture. I mean, I Booming, that is a crime. And this is going on all the time. It's not like that in many of the other countries. I know it's not like that in Panama, and it's not like that in South America because the drug industry there is, I mean, the prices there are very reasonable compared to the prices here. There's no contest, literally no contest. So Big Pharma, they are every year they come out with a new drug and they go to the Food and Drug Administration for approval, and they get approval. And this is like a revolving circle because when the leader of the Food and Drug Administration, when they leave the government, they go to Big Pharma. It's just one big cycle, and it's hurting the public. And Big Pharma is becoming, I mean, they're raking in billions and billions and billions of dollars at our expense from our health and our wealth, and they're taking it. And the Congress is making it legal for them to do that. It absolutely should be illegal. And that's my story on that, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and your comments and inspiring us. Karen says she's been inspired by this conversation. Coach Danita says the side effects of those medications took away her livelihoods. She almost died in 2016 because of medication. Oh, listen to this, guys. Did you know that what is supposed to cure us is actually the third leading cause of death in this country? Properly or improperly taking prescription drugs and medical errors together are the number 3 killer behind heart disease and cancer. And that's number 3, the treatment. Okay, so that tells us something. Rich is saying, hey, this is terrible. We all would agree. Joyce is all about the money. Of course, guys, that's what it's about. It's all Big Pharma. It's all about the big dollar. And make sure that you understand that. And so everyone is very appreciative of this conversation today. Hopefully, we have inspired you to not just to know better, but to do better. We'll come back again and have conversations because we need to talk about water, the right kind of water, address this obesity epidemic and the cancer, the big C word. There's a lot of things we can talk about. And even exercise and fitness, guys. But come back next Tuesday for the Wow Show, Women of Wealth. And Rich, no, it's not just for women. I wanted to speak to my ladies. It's important that we become, independent and can contribute to the wealth and abundance of our families too. So, ladies, I wanted this show for us, but you can invite the men folk because they are our leaders too, and we want everyone to win. So next week's conversation is going to be a finance and money wealth conversation, some secrets that the banks and the wealthy have hidden from you for years. I'm going to be revealing some things that the Rockefellers do to perpetuate their wealth that you can do, but nobody's telling you can do. We're going to talk about that next week, Tuesday, right here at 12 noon. Thank you so much, Daddy, for being a wealth of knowledge and inspiration. And I want us to end with this. Do you mind telling people your age?
Yes, I don't mind.
Okay, go ahead. How old are you? How young are you?
Next year, I will be 79.
Next year, he will be 79 years young. Awesome. So, guys, with that, I said you're not far from 80. How do you feel about that?
I like it. Can't wait to get there.
That's awesome. I love it. All right, then, guys. I love you all. Thank you, Karen. Thanks, Danita. And with that, guys, this is officially over. We'll see you next week on the Wow Show, Women of Wealth. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.